So let's go over here. Dr. Blitz versus Mr. Pressure.
We're talking about the defensive coordinators, Steve Spagnoulo, Steve Wilks. It's odd. They're both really bright guys in terms of schemes. And then you got to have athletes to make the schemes work, but they've been able to get those athletes there. But both of them failed as head coaches. Spagnoulo was with the Rams, and that was a bad experience. Wilks had been in Carolina. That was a bad experience. So after they got fired, they stepped back. They got rehired, became defensive assistants, elevated back up to defensive coordinators where they used to be. And you got Spagnoulo, who's done a phenomenal job in about 3 years. They have changed the persona of Kansas City Chief football. It used to be known for its quarterback, Mahomes. Now it's known also for its defense.
Yes.
You go back and look at what they've done. Look at that roster, what they've done in the draft in terms of changing the personality of Chief defense. They went out and they got guys who could run. I mean, they got a phenomenal collection of athletes. I would say defensively, this might be the best Kansas City defense of all time. And that says a lot going all the way back to the Hank Stram era. Steve Wilks got bounced around, failed, got fired after one crummy year, Arizona, winds up coming back here to San Francisco, and he now is in place of the last great defensive coordinator, D'Amico Ryans.
Aha.
And D'Amico Ryans replaced the past defensive coordinator, Robert Saleh. Those guys went on to be head coaches, Jets in Houston, and have done okay. So Wilks comes back in there and does a good job. Spagnuolo's defense is second in the NFL in overall defense, fourth in the NFL in pass defense, and they blitz, and they blitz, and they blitz more. 63 sacks, 20 takeaways. They just dial it up, and they send people from everywhere. Just ask the quarterbacks have knocked out of the playoffs to begin with.
Yes.
Exotic blitz packages coupled with team speed. So Spags has done a really good job. Wilks defense, 50 sacks, 33 takeaways. Number 3 in run defense. You can't run the football against that front. And number 8 in overall defense, 303 yards per game. They just make it hard for you to go on long drives because they're always putting you in third and long situations. They have given up chunk plays. In the 2 playoff games, Green Bay's Jordan Love kind of picked them apart. And he would throw underneath and then have yards after catch. Detroit just lined it up and knocked him off the ball, which is kind of surprising. Detroit ran for 182, but they are brute force. And based on some of the critique that Wilks has had of his players after the 2 playoff wins, the come from behind wins that they had to have because the defense didn't hold up, I got to believe they're going to show up on Sunday and they're just going to have a different mentality in this Super Bowl game. So these are 2, as bright lights as the head coaches are, these are 2 really cool guys in terms of here's our defensive package. I dare you to stop us.
It's funny. Spagnuolo, you see him on the sidelines, and just like the picture there on the screen, he's always like huddled up, got the beanie, and he just looks like a grumpy old man out there. But he is a genius as well. So when you look at these 2 defenses, I mean, should we be looking at Fred Warner? Should we be looking at Chris Jones? Or do you think we're going to see some other players here surprise us on defense?
I just wonder whether the secondaries can hold up. But then maybe the secondaries don't have to hold up just because of the fact that pass rush and the blitz packages are so extreme. Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are really great linebackers. And you couple them behind a very physical front, and suddenly San Francisco, they really worry you because they'll just mug you. Kansas City does it with Chris Jones, but Kansas City does it with unbelievable speed, and they're sending guys from every direction. I can't imagine be a quarterback in a pre-snap read before the ball is snapped, trying to read that defense and figure out, where's the blitz coming? Is it coming from Tranquil, the blitz linebacker, or is it coming from Ladarius Sneed, the safety? And they just send them and send them and send them. And then if they don't send them, they drop them back. All of a sudden, you got Chris Jones in your face, and you're trying to throw into 8-man coverage. So,
right.
I'm a football geek. I watch formations. I watch all this.
Well, I know. I've sat down with you watching a game, and you look at it differently than the average fan.
Well, I am colorblind and weird. Okay, so 2 great defensive coordinators. Keep that in mind. Next question.